Quackaroony, Uncle Scrooge's Monster Movie Marathon sure is packing them in. We're talking DuckTales. Hit it. It was 1987. Monster Squad was in theaters. Lou Gramm sang Lost in the Shadows for the Lost Boys soundtrack. And Scrooge McDuck had a house full of Universal monsters. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, or Halloween, the podcast that talks all things Halloween in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Halloween in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me is a Totally Rad Christmas All-Star and Ratty winner. From Now Watch This, it's Joe Martinez. Joe, what's going on, man?
Jerry, how's it going, man? It's great to join you finally for a Halloween edition of one of my favorite podcasts, which is Totally Rad Christmas.
I know it's funny when you say it like that, right? It's a Halloween episode of Totally Rad Christmas, but I think in this day and age, they kind of lead into each other nowadays, right?
Yes, especially with this show here. I can't believe I can't recall DuckTales having a Christmas episode. So is this your first venture into DuckTales?
This is the first DuckTales. They did not have a Christmas episode. The closest they had was that they came out in a Christmas commercial in 1991 with like Darkwing Duck and I think Chip and Dale. It was just like a little promo. And, it's only like a little 20, 30-second thing. And that's it. That's all they had. So when you said, hey, there's this episode that's kind of Halloweenish, I thought, I'm covering it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I did find one thing Christmassy on DuckTales, and that's this DuckTales Christmas Fun Time book. It's like an activity book that I found a copy of, and we'll be talking about that as well, because, I still got to do a little Christmas. But yeah, mostly we're going to talk Halloween tonight, and it's Halloween DuckTales. So we're going to get into it. Before we do, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooge, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to hit me with the first things that come to your mind. Okay, you don't have to think too hard about it. So,
okay,
let's say you're making a Christmas story with the cast of DuckTales. Which one of the nephews would you cast as Ralphie?
Ooh, I gotta say, I'm not going to go with the nephews, but if you watch DuckTales, Launchpad has a little friend in the Boy Scouts, the little pudgy kid.
Oh, yeah.
That's my Ralphie right there. That would be my Ralphie.
All right, I'm into it. Yeah, it was hard for me because, like, in this version, they don't really have like distinguishable personalities, right?
No. It's all one.
Came out a few years ago, they do, but
yeah,
here they really don't. It's all just kind of like the same character, just three of them. That's good. I like that. Okay. What would you title an action movie starring Gizmo Duck?
Ooh, oh my God. What would it'd be Gremlins Revenge of the Ducks or something like that?
Okay. All right. At first I was thinking something funny like Blathering Blatherskite, because that was like what he would say to get the suit on him. But then I don't know, like Full Metal Duck or something.
I guess when you said Gizmo, Gremlins went on the brain right away, right? So
right,
yes, yeah. Gizmo Duck, yeah, he was one of my favorites too. We didn't see Gizmo in this episode, and we didn't see Launchpad in this episode, which he was one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. Launchpad was added a lot of the humor. Gizmo Duck was my favorite part of DuckTales. You know me, I'm like a huge like comic book action cartoon kind of guy, and so I liked Gizmo Duck. Although I always hated that he only had one wheel. I was like, why is he trying to balance on this one wheel? Like, give the guy two wheels, man.
Yeah,
or give him 2 feet or something. But, all right, that's good. Who would win in a fight between Scrooge McDuck and Daffy Duck?
Ooh, it depends on what it's over. Because if it's over money, Scrooge is winning all the time.
For sure, yeah.
If there's money on the line, Scrooge is winning. Now, if it's for a girl, Daffy, or it's for Daisy. It's to impress Daisy. You might, am I picking right? Daffy, yeah. No, that's Donald. Daffy. I guess if it's for a girl, he always went after Bugs Bunny when he dressed as a girl duck.
That's right.
So,
When Bugs Bunny was in
yeah, if
drag,
it's for a girl, Daffy might have a chance. But if it's for a single penny, Scrooge is winning this thing.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think you're right. Well, that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Tonight, we're here to talk DuckTales.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur.
What is your history or experience with DuckTales? Like, what do you remember about it?
Well, I gotta say, besides Totally Rad Christmas, this theme song, the DuckTales theme song, anyone could sing it. I mean,
Banger, for sure.
you put it on right now, and people sing it. I remember there was this guy that he made this video, and he came out looking, very, very mean, like a big brute kind of guy. And he's like, "This is the reason why I can't be gangster." And then he started singing the DuckTales song. It's just like, you're right? Like,
Well,
man,
it's like,
put that, you're in a bad situation. Put that song on.
yeah.
I've told you plenty of times, I like to listen to Totally Rad Christmas on Mondays, and that theme song hits, and it makes you feel a little bit better, man.
Well,
Things are going to
thank
be a
you.
little bit better. So, yeah, man. That theme song for DuckTales is the first premonition I get.
It's a good one for sure. It's funny, after the halftime show with Kendrick, people were splicing in like some of that Kendrick footage to the DuckTales
The
theme. And
DuckTales song, right?
I was like, this works.
Yeah.
It totally works.
It works with anything, man. But yeah, I in particular, man, DuckTales was what, second, third grade for me. So it was one of those. It was on around 3:30, so it hit like right when you got home. It was there. It ran for a little while, and I just remember it being great. I remember it being one big story, but if you look at DuckTales now, I think like nothing was canon in these shows. Like Scrooge can lose his money one day, and still be rich
Right.
the next episode. So yeah, it never went. But I preferred it that way, man. I liked it. It was a great show for me.
Yeah, a lot of shows, not all of them, but most shows in this era were all episodic. It wasn't, a big story arc. And a lot of that was because they could just play it in whatever order they want in syndication, so
Yeah.
so they tried not to have like a big overarching story. So I know what you mean. For
Yeah.
me, I remember when DuckTales came on, and I was into it, but not like super into it. 87, I was still into like Brave Star, Silverhawks were around, I was still trying like to keep as much of those action cartoons as I could. So Gizmo Duck, yes, I was all in. Launchpad, heck yeah, a pilot, like this guy's awesome. And then some of the ducks, like Scrooge, I loved from Mickey's Christmas Carol, but
Yeah.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie were like, yeah, okay, they're here. And I don't know, I just wanted more like laser fights and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But as an adult, like I've come to respect it a lot more now.
Yeah. Did you remember them? I mean, was that Christmas episode out where, they have to relive Christmas over and over and over again? Was that out? When did that come out? That didn't come out to the 90s, right?
Oh, I'm not even sure I know exactly which one you're talking about.
The episode, well, it's not an episode. It's in one of the Christmas carols, or Once Upon a Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't till later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I liked it, but it
Mhm.
kind of led off into that whole like Disney afternoon block. It was like DuckTales and Tailspin and Chippendales
Yes.
Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck. And they're all great shows, but they were like never really my cup of tea. I still
Yeah.
was jonesing for G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I wanted more Thundercats, and we only
Yes,
got
yes,
2
yes.
seasons, so I was super
I think
bummed.
Ninja Turtles is coming
Ninja
out at that
Turtles.
time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thundercats is there. So
Exactly. 87, I was more into Ninja Turtles than I was into DuckTales. But now, having said that, I watched it a lot. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed it every time I watched it. So I
Yeah.
liked it. I didn't like it quite as much as some of the others, but like Scrooge was suave and like savvy. He knew how to hit it with the money, and
Dude,
Launchpad was
yeah.
just a lovable goof, but
Yes,
he could
yes, yes.
fly. So yeah, I mean, I was all in when it came to Gizmo Duck and all that stuff. So yeah, that's
Yeah, man. I remember too. It's Scrooge swimming through the money bin, right?
yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah,
and
I wanted to do
like
that so bad.
if I had that many pennies, I could do it that myself or something.
Right.
He'd dive in and stuff. He'd do anything for the money, and I just remember a lot of the episodes. A lot of the episodes that you see in the beginning in the theme song. I remember a lot of those episodes
Right.
coming in.
Right.
So, but I gotta say, this one in particular that we're gonna talk about today, I remember that one more than any because I was a big Universal Monster fan.
Yeah.
So I was really into the Wolfman, Dracula, Monster Squad
Yeah.
is right around this time. I was into all of those guys together as a team, Frankenstein and everybody. So
For
seeing
sure.
something like this, man, it really hit. It really hit
Well,
for me at that time, and it was great. It was great, man. I
Well,
just
especially
loved it.
because the Monster Squad had just
Yeah.
come out like that August, right? So
Yes.
so it was like Monster Squad in August, and then this one came out, later on that fall. So, and I'm right there with you. I loved the Universal monsters. I really wasn't into like Freddy or Jason or anything back then. I'm
Mhm.
more into him now, but I really wasn't back then. But like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman or werewolf, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
the Gill Man, Creature from the Black
Creature.
Lagoon,
Yes.
the Mummy, like those five are like my top five like favorite monsters of all time, and then
Yes,
seeing them
dude.
again in the Monster Squad when they were kind of like updated for the 80s, that was banging. I mean, it was
Yes, yes. I just
so
it's
good.
like for me it's like how do people not see Monster Squad as just the perfect movie? Again, it hit for me in the 80s. Do you remember? I mean, again, this is talking the 80s. We did a lot of stuff in the libraries, right? At school.
A lot.
I
Yeah.
was a library kid, man.
Yeah, of course.
In middle school, I was a little nerd that hung out in the library and took my lunches in the library sometimes.
Right.
But in the 80s, I always checked out these books, and it was this section of orange books that had Dracula. It had Bela Lugosi's Dracula. It had
Mm,
Wolfman. It had all the Universal monsters, and then it had like a Godzilla and those monsters book.
that's
And
cool.
it turned me on to these monsters like no end. Now I look these books up now, Jerry, and they're collector's items. Like they could run from the hundreds in bad condition to in the thousands for good condition books. And these are little books that were in my school library
Right, right.
growing up. I love these books, so I love these monsters. And then I want to say I was maybe 5, 6. I got a VHS copy of Abbott and Costello Meet the
Meet Frank.
Wolfman,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
or
yeah.
one of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's where all of them come in.
Yeah, yeah. Abbott and
Yes,
Costello meet Frankenstein. Yeah,
yes,
and
and
it's
it turned me on to them so much that I love these characters. It wasn't until maybe we saw Bram Stoker's that we saw a real kind of Dracula again. But give me those 80s characters all the
yeah.
way. Christopher Lee in the 70s, and then
Mm-hmm.
going back to Bela Lugosi.
Bella.
I
Yeah.
can watch those Draculas and those Frankensteins and love them. Now the wife and everyone else, they're not as into
Right.
them as I am.
Yeah.
But
Same. Same. Yeah.
getting Peacock and them being all on the Universal clip, uh,
Right.
I loved it. I was the only one, but I loved it.
Yeah. Well, and it's great because in this episode that we're going to be talking about, I mean, it's literally just all those monsters plus a few more here and there, like
Yes.
just the Duckville,
Yes.
Duckburg version of them.
Yes.
So a little bit about the show is produced by Walt Disney Television Animation. Initially broadcast as a limited preview run on the Disney Channel January 16th, but it was like just a few episodes, limited run. And then really September 18th, 1987, it spanned 100 episodes across 4 different seasons, with the final episode airing on November 28th, 1990. Now, of course, it was based on Uncle Scrooge and the other Duck Universe comics created by Carl Banks. Now, you were talking about the theme song. Theme
Yeah.
song, one of my favorite 80s theme songs. All the theme songs of things in the 80s were just like dynamite. But
the best.
Yeah. This one written by Mark Mueller, an ASCAP award-winning like pop music songwriter. He also wrote Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. He was paid, according to an interview, he was paid just a little over $1,000 to write this tune.
Wow.
And it was sung by Jeff Pichetto. And according to an interview with Jeff Pichetto in 2009, he was approached by Mueller to cut a demo, and then he sang it. They were impressed, so they had him. I love this too, because the Jets were originally going to perform it first, but
really,
instead they had him do it, and then he ended up singing as well, like Chip and Dale and Darkwing Duck. I mean, like, so that was a good gambit on his part.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can imagine making a living. That was a living, right, back in the day. Or I mean, it still is to this day. But I mean, whoever was making a lot of those, the Days Go By theme song. Luck and I were talking about recently how much the Full House and Family Matters theme song sounds the same and goes together, man. So it was awesome. It was awesome time. You got to do an episode on theme songs, Jerry.
Just on theme songs?
Yes.
Maybe, you never know. So we're going to be talking about season 1, episode 64. It's Ducky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
It aired December 31st, so after Christmas, December 31st, 1987. It's
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, I know.
It's the perfect time to release a Halloween episode.
That's right.
I have a strong psychic belief that the world will end on New Year's Eve.
Well, for your sake, I hope you're right.
Most of the cast I've talked about before, so I won't get too into it. Uncle Scrooge, of course, Alan Young.
Everybody said my Scrooge-orama dome wouldn't make a dime. And it certainly has been fun proving everybody wrong.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie were Russie Taylor. Launchpad was Terry McGovern. We had Duckworth was Chuck McCann, and Ms. Beakley was Joan Gerber. But we have a few other voices. So Peter Cullen was O'Hara.
Yes.
The cop, or I don't know if he was chief or he was just a cop, but so he was O'Hara. So good old Optimus Prime.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
We also had Jim Cummings was Quackymodo. Jim Cummings, of course, famously voice of Darkwing Duck, Winnie the Pooh, and a few others.
I think it goes something like this, but I can only do it for a small smackerel of honey.
And then Dick Gaudier was Mr. Wolf. He, you might know as Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime from Transformers.
Oh, okay.
And Serpentor from G.I. Joe.
For I am Serpentor, and this I command!
Oh, no. He was a favorite.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf. And then Alan Oppenheimer was Count Drakeula. Of course, Alan Oppenheimer famously is Skeletor. He was also Falkor, the Luck Dragon in the Neverending Story.
Whew.
I am not nice. No, stop that.
Do you want me to hold him?
No, we'll go faster if I carry him.
And then Neil Ross, who was a shipwreck in G.I. Joe, just did some additional voices there. So,
Come here, cover girl and blowtorch. I found him. Yeah, beat it, you crazy coyote.
Yeah.
You got to imagine these guys are all working together, putting this stuff together. Yeah.
They're like, we need a voice. Oh, let me just call my buddy,
Yeah.
my buddy Neil over there, and just come on in. And
Optimus Prime, you might know him.
That's so awesome. That's awesome.
Did you think, I thought Chief O'Hara sounded a little bit like, I'm trying to think of the guy's name from Seinfeld. He later on did The Tick.
Like David Putty.
David Putty. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but
I can't either. I just remember Putty.
Chief O'Hara sounded just like him. I had to look it up, and then I was like, Peter Cullen. Oh my God.
That's right. You're like Optimus Prime.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Jerry, I do got to say though, December 31st, New Year's Eve, the Christmas tree is still up. It ties in. Right. The Christmas tree's still up. It ties into Christmas. There you go.
For sure. So So let's dive into this episode, and as we get through it, then we'll talk the Christmas Fun Time book a little bit and kind of just go through some of those pages. But essentially, if you want a nutshell it, Scrooge basically finances like a convention center, which is then used by like horror-based, Universal Studios monsters. That's kind of like the nutshell version of it. But it starts us off where the boys, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are at the Scrooge-orama Dome, watching a Quackenstein movie.
Yes.
And it's like packed, man. This is
Jerry. I was like, how big is Duckburg, man?
I was thinking that too.
Everybody's here. They must have brought in Dogburg that that they mentioned later. Because good Lord.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie theater that big. It's massive. It's like IMAX, but like with stadium capacity, right? Like,
and then
like the
you
Dallas
see
Cowboys or something.
You look at the outside, and it looks like it's an ice cream shack.
Right, exactly.
There's no way that inside is fitting inside the outside.
No, not at all. It's like a TARDIS or something in there,
But again, you suspend belief and you're just like, you're there, right? Yeah,
of course, awesome. Yeah. So they're watching the monster movie, and they're a little terrified, and I like how one of them screams, but it's just because he ran out of popcorn. And...
Terrible! It's horrible! Good thing it's only a movie. What's the matter? I'm out of popcorn.
But turns out that this is like the first of the money-making schemes. He's got a couple of money-making schemes that he's working on in this episode.
Yeah, he's always working on something, right? And he's always he's a cheapskate, right? Like he scrimps every last penny.
Right. That's why he's so rich.
Yeah.
He doesn't spend.
And then he argues with his butler for what? Like he's more into proving his butler wrong,
right,
than anything, right? Like, I'm gonna show you.
It's funny that the butler's name is Duckworth, but he's like a dog.
Yeah.
I always thought that was like wild.
There's a strange dynamic. Duckworth was a little sassy in this episode.
Yeah, he was.
Man. Duckworth let him have it a couple of times.
What did he call it? A colossal blunder?
Yeah. He's like, good thing the Butler convention's in Dogburg.
This colossal blunder you're looking at is going to be the new Duckburg Convention Center.
Luckily, the next Butler's convention is going to be in Dogburg.
So the boys are all wondering whether monsters are real, and they start to like freak out when they're actually like run into Quackenstein's monster.
Yeah.
But it turns out, and I love this, because it's always like a play on some sort of like duck related name, right? It turns out that it was just the actor Arnold Schwarzenegger drumming up publicity for the studio.
Do you really think there are monsters in the world? Well, if I ever run into one, I'll let you know.
Don't run, boys. It's only my friend Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's here to drum up publicity for my monster movie marathon. He's an actor in low-budget horror films.
But what I really want to do is direct low-budget horror films.
He's always the one that gets, because you can always tell, right? Like,
right.
You think about McBain in the Simpsons episode, right?
I love McBain.
You can always tell that's a play on Arnold, right? He always gets caught up. But hey, who better in the 80s than Arnold, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're looking for like a big buff, dude. It's got to be Arnold. He was like the buffest back then.
Yeah.
But Scrooge tells him monsters aren't real and, just movies and don't worry about it. And this is where we have like Mr. Wolf goes up to him because Scrooge in his next venture, he is going to refurbish this like complete wreck of a building and turn it into a convention center.
Yes. And he's going to get Mr. Wolf's monster convention. But I was laughing when he tells the kids that, there's no such thing as monsters, because in the episodes, I mean, this is 64 episodes in.
Right.
There's plenty of previous episodes where he's fighting monsters.
He's run into stuff. And the mummy that comes out in this one actually looks like a mummy from an earlier episode. I mean, it's like
yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Are you just telling them that to like ease their conscience? So they're not worried, or because there's like real monsters out there.
But again, that got me into like, okay, nothing's canon here. Like everything's just this is this is the first time this happened to everybody.
Exactly. Well, I mean, even what was her name? Not Morgana.
Yeah. I know who you're thinking about, but she was a sorceress.
Right. So like
she turns into
you
she
wouldn't think
turns
there's
one
like
of her,
actual monsters with the sorceress running around.
Yes, it's in the credits. It's in the opening credits.
Exactly. Yes.
He's fought plenty of monsters, guy.
Oh man. But so he's approached. This is the colossal blunder that Duckworth is talking about. This like wreck of this mess of a building. But he's approached by Mr. Wolf, this like duck and like with scraggly mustache and beard.
Yes.
I mean, he looks like he's lived a life, like like a crackhead or so. I mean, he's like really messed up,
Yeah. Hey,
but he wants to rent it. So Scrooge is like, yeah.
Your new convention center will be perfect for my club's annual meeting.
Oh, I'll be so happy to have your money. I mean, to have you, Mr. Wolf.
There'll be about 50 of us. Do you suppose you might also provide us with
rooms? Oh, anything you say.
Yeah, a lot like the Wolfman would look, right? Like
exactly.
Like, think about the Monster Squad Wolfman, man. That guy, that guy looked just like this guy.
Yeah, John
I know, there's a lot of, again, this is a very punny episode.
Yeah,
if you can't find a gag me with the spoon in this episode, then you're just not trying.
For sure.
So, again, it was very punny. I had to have loved it back in the day. I thought the jokes were very punny now, but you can see how, much of an effort they went about, going about everything.
Oh yeah.
Think about Frankenstein, his wife. I'm a sucker for having all those monsters together.
Same. Like hard same. But like Mr. Wolf's like, hey, look, we want to hold a convention here. We want to use your convention center. And we also are going to need some rooms. So Scrooge is like, well, I don't have a hotel, but you can stay in my mansion for a fee. And, you see like the dollar signs in his eyes. Just, I mean,
anything for a buck, man.
He's good to go, man. He's good to go. So, he offers to rent his mansion out as a hotel. So turns out Mr. Wolf is, again, a duck with the last name of Wolf. He actually is a werewolf. Or a duck, were-duck. No, wolf duck. He's actually a wolf duck.
Jerry, I'm right there with you. I'm like, so anyone that gets bit by a werewolf turns into a werewolf, right? Like if you got to think of that. Yeah, again, it's like they turn into dogs, but it's the same thing in that Disney Disneyverse where Goofy's a dog, yet Pluto's a dog too.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like some sort of caste system, right? I mean, like a different class system of dog. But no, I know what you mean. So like the werewolf though literally means wolf man. So I think we have to say wolf duck.
Wolf duck.
I don't know.
That's what Howard would say.
I was trying to like figure it out, and I couldn't. Finally, I was like, whatever. He's a werewolf. It's fine. But yeah, so he's a werewolf, and he makes like a long distance call to Drakeula in Transylvania. Drake, of course, name for a male duck. So Drakeula, boom.
Yeah. I'm telling you, very punny this episode.
That's right.
Operator, please connect me with Swansylvania 60.
This is Monsters Unanimous. Count Drakeula speaking.
Drakeula, how are you?
Oh, feeling kind of blah.
Well, I've got news that will cure the blahs. Monsters Unanimous will be howling at the Duckburg Convention Center this year.
Blah!
Stop fooling around, Count Drakeula. We have serious work to do. You write the invitations. And I'll get started on the water balloons.
But we also get Quackymodo, Quasimodo, there with Drakeula. And I love how he's a vampire duck, but he can turn into a bat.
Yes. It makes no sense. A duck can fly, but he turns into a bat.
I don't know. Yeah. But I love it because, we also get as he's like making these calls, we see like Quackenstein, like the actual Quackenstein's monster with his bride.
Yes.
Oh, Quacky Smacky, I can't wait to go shopping in Duckburg. It'll give us a chance to break in our new Monster Charge credit card.
We see the creature from the Blue Lagoon.
Yes.
Quackenstein, the thing, and the creature from the Blue Lagoon.
I will never forget the creature's last pool party.
The food was a little soggy, but we had a very nice wet bar. The mummy, the daddy, the killer pumpkin.
Didn't somebody turn him into a pie?
Oh, that's right. Bigfoot.
I hope she doesn't ask me to dance this year.
And what monster convention would be complete without the blob?
The mummy, we see a mummy in there. I mean, it's like all our favorites just wrapped up into one. And then there's extras. There's like the blob.
Yes.
And you know what? Kudos to this mailman that is delivering all these invitations.
He gets chomped by the clam. Clam.
That's great. It's like what is it? Through rain or sleet or
snow. Yeah.
So like this guy, I mean, he got scuba gear and went down the Blue Lagoon to deliver. I mean, kudos to him. He deserves like mailman of the year.
This is before FedEx, kids. This is before UPS, man.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm a sucker for this episode, man. Again, I keep saying it, but this whole scene here, the invitations going out, you can see where they all live. It reminded me of those old Tex Avery episodes where you'd see like the House of Tomorrow or this is how these people lived and stuff like that. That's what this reminded me of, and it was great to see them all in their habitat, so to say. So I love this part. Now I couldn't think is that supposed to be Dracula's familiar, or is that supposed to be Quasimodo?
Well, later on, they call him Quackymodo, so I just assumed it was like
it's
Quasimodo
somewhere in there. Yeah,
there's a little bit of Igor. Like the way he talks is a little Igor. He's got but he's also got the hump from the Hunchback.
Yeah.
So it could be all of the above. I think they had to amalgamate a few here and there.
It reminded me of in Young Frankenstein. Igor and that. So so
it's pronounced Igor.
Igor. Yes.
but yeah, so it's like they're all excited, and I like how Drakeula is a little bit of a klutz as well. It's like after seeing him in Monster Squad, he's like this force, and and in Bram Stoker's novel, like he can command wolves and bats and owls and foxes and like all the creatures of the night, which is why he's like the head monster. And here, I don't know. I felt more like the wolf. Mr. Wolf was like the head, and Drakeula is just kind of like his bumbling buffoon.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't trust him though. But what he reminded me of, never seen a Dracula eat apples except for in the 1980s in Fright Night, right?
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Chris Sarandon's character.
Yes. I'm telling you, Jerry, it all tracks, man.
Well, and then what's his name? Count Duckula as well.
Yeah,
was a vegetarian. So.
Oh yeah.
Because instead of when they were bringing him back to life, instead of blood, they used ketchup. So so great. So yeah, they're all invited. They arrive at this big old convention center, and Scrooge is a little horrified. They're in this big pink bus, which I love. It's so like unmonstery and all, right?
He's like, I hope you don't mind my guests. We're a little weird, and he's like, oh, as long as your money's green.
Yeah,
I mean, and then he goes,
how different.
And then he turns around, and the bus is there.
Yes. It's a big old pink bus with all these monsters, and half the bus gets ripped off. I mean, it's he's just like, huh?
Yeah. It reminded me. I remember I used to get the Monster magazine. I mean, not Monster magazine. Then
Fangoria or something.
No. You know the magazine with the kid's face, and you'd push it together.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. It was so cool.
But he had they do a Halloween episode, a Halloween
issue.
Mm-hmm. And I remember a Halloween issue having all the monsters together, just like this. In one of the issues, I gotta find it somewhere. But Mad Magazine. I'm sorry.
Mad,
yes,
yeah.
Mad Magazine.
Yeah, it was always towards the end. It was like one of the last few pages, and you would fold it inwards, and it would make a whole other. Yeah.
Yes. Did you think they had the Thing in this episode? I thought he looked like Clayface to me. As a DC fan, I was like, well, dude, that's Clayface.
There was like one or two, because they have the Blob as well.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll see Ping Pong, instead of King Kong.
Yes,
although
yes.
The subtitles, if you watch it on Disney Plus, the subtitles say King Kong.
Yes.
But if you look at online, most people seem to call him Ping Pong because he's playing with like one of those
Yeah.
paddle balls. So I'm
that's
going to
skate
say,
around.
Yeah, exactly. It's like let's get around copyright here. So I'm going to call him Ping Pong, even though officially in the subtitles it's King Kong. But there's like a few of these different monsters in there as well that are like aren't your typical monster that you think of like with Universal monsters.
Yeah, they played just on the edge of stuff. It's just like when the bride talks about going shopping, she's like, we'll use our monster card.
That's right.
It's just
it's
again,
like their new
very
card,
punny,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But like they pretty much like just kind of trash his convention center even more. And
yes,
Scrooge at this point is like doesn't know what to do. But they're there. They like go to his mansion as he's out, and they start checking in.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And I love how like he's like kind of treating it as if it's a hotel. So the Huey, Dewey, and Louie are all in like bellhop uniforms, ready to go. I mean, they're
they don't know what to expect. He just introduced them to the monsters. They think it's fake monsters, so
they think it's
just
fake
like,
monsters because Scrooge told them.
Yeah. So creatures like they're with creature, and they're good thing we got a water bed in your room, right? Because of course,
that's right.
They tell Frankenstein and his wife, it's just like, if you need more space, just knock a wall down.
She's like,
that's right. Oh, he will.
Because they have the honeymoon suite.
Yes.
It's like, if it's not big enough, just knock down a few walls.
Yeah.
Fortunately, your room has a waterbed. Guess we won't run out of bandages with you around. And with all these monsters around, we're gonna need a lot of bandages. I'll give you two the honeymoon suite. And if it's not big enough, just knock down a few walls.
Oh, he will.
But I do like how Scrooge gets slimed. Quackymodo's up on the roof, like throwing water balloons.
Yes.
For some reason, that's like his thing, water balloons.
Yes.
And so Scrooge, he like gets hit, but then he goes inside and he gets slimed by the blob. And all I could think of was Venkman from Ghostbusters,
He slimed me.
and then Duckworth is just there like,
there's a first time for everything, sir.
Yeah, he is totally sassy.
Yeah.
And but like they notice that the water's running, and so Scrooge opens the door and there's like a little flood, and Drakeula is like, I'd like to quaff your flood.
Yes. No. It's oh man, Jerry, you just stole my gag me with the spoon.
It's fine.
I'd like to duck your flood.
That's right. That's
yeah. Again, Drakeula is a comic somewhere. He's got to be either that or he's a dad, because those are dad jokes 101.
He does. Yeah, he bites apples and does like a tight five on stage. So, but then this is where Quackymodo even asks him like,
"Hey, McDuck, you want to blob for apples?"
Yes. And it's like, like bobbing for apples, but the blob is
inside of the blob, like gross,
like,
dude.
Nope.
Yeah,
no, hard pass.
Man.
And Drakeula's like running around playing pin the tail on the invisible man. I mean, it's like shenanigans.
Yes.
So Scrooge is like horrified. He like threatens to kick them all out until Mr. Wolf is like, you're only kicking us out because we're monsters.
Yeah, it's
Scrooge
discrimination
is like,
here, buddy.
Of course, I
Yeah,
am.
come on.
And so Wolf's like, well, then we want our money back. And I mean, Scrooge can't have his first failure, right? He can't have his first business failure. So he decides to make it work.
He's like, he says he's like, I mean, Scrooge is pretty knowledgeable about money, but he says, I will make a profit if I have to spend my last dime. It's like, that's not a profit, guy. I hate to tell you.
Well, I mean, you got to spend money to make money, right? Yeah. So finally, it's like things are kind of calming down until the giant ape Ping Pong comes and
I can still break even as long as the monsters don't cause any more major destruction.
He's coming. I knew he would. He's the life of the party.
I knew it wasn't me.
It's Ping Pong!
His thing, he's the life of the party, but his thing is he likes to climb the highest building around. And in this case, in Duckburg, it's Scrooge's money bin.
Yes.
So
my money bin.
Which, like, I get why he has a money bin. It's also like a status symbol. But like, if you have that much money, like, don't advertise that you have it in like just one place.
Oh,
diversify your portfolio. Do different things.
Nowadays, he would, right? Like,
that's right.
It's all in stocks and bonds.
He's got some Bitcoin over there, and but yeah, back then, I mean, it was just. It's all about. Yeah.
I wanted to swim in a money bin so bad.
I did too.
I mean, that definitely could happen, right? You could swim in change like that.
I mean, you could. I think if you were to dive into it, you'd probably hurt yourself really bad. But if you just like, slowly work your way in, I think you could definitely.
Then as a kid, the first time you got taken into like a ball pit, you thought you were like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. It totally felt like Scrooge in his money bin. Yeah.
Look at me.
So Ping Pong's up on the money bin.
Yeah.
And the chief, O'Hara, he just, I mean, the townspeople are horrified until the chief's like, look, it's just Scrooge. It's, I told you no more of this, like, this movie stunt promotional kind of thing. They all think it's just like like a PR, like a publicity stunt. And so he's like, I'm giving you 24 hours to remove like that balloon, or what does he call it? He calls it like a balloon, or he calls it something else.
Yeah.
Like blow up or whatever. You only have 24 hours. Otherwise, you're going to the city jail. So Scrooge is horrified and he doesn't know what to do until Duckworth's like, hey, we got to go. There's like a whole thing at the Scrooge-orama Dome. Like there's a riot there.
Yeah.
Oh, and there seems to be some sort of riot at the Scrooge-orama Dome.
Yeah, and again, Duckburg. I don't know how big it is, Jerry. The Scrooge-orama Dome looked bigger than Duckburg from the inside, but it's obviously just right there, right? He can kind of see what's going on. They got the Batman spotlights going on now.
That's right. That's right. Where's Gizmo Duck when you need him?
Right? Again, where's Gizmo? Where's Launchpad in this episode?
I guess I don't know. They're on vacation somewhere or something.
and again,
they went to Vegas,
Scrooge, man. Scrooge still has the kids and Mrs. Beagley working. Like, Duckworth is still working. They get over there, and what is it? It's the monsters.
It's the monsters that are actually protesting. They're protesting the theater because they think all these monster movies are giving them like bad names.
Yes.
Down with monster movies! Up with monster rights! Down with monster movies! Up with monster rights!
It's like it's making people afraid of, and so they're like, whoever owns this is going to be in trouble. And Scrooge is like,
I own this theater.
Yeah. and the werewolf's like going to tear him to shreds at this point. Like he's literally going to maul him. until luckily a little girl asks for like his autograph and to take pictures. And
yes. Oh, Cindy Lou, the Cindy Lou Who of this universe came up, and she made the werewolf's heart grow 3 sizes that day.
Totally. And so, they're like, oh, they're not afraid of us. These movies are making them love us. Yes. And so Scrooge figures out how he can turn this whole thing into a profit. So he runs live shows, 3 shows a day.
Yes.
Of the monsters doing like a song and dance number with Ping Pong carrying Mrs. Beakley up like the money bid. And it's like they're all going to cash in. And the monsters are like, hey, we're making so much money. Next year, we're going to go to like Tokyo. And then,
we're taking this show on the road. Yeah.
That's right. that's exactly. That's exactly right. But so now that they can see him in person, it's like, it's a huge success. And so, everybody gets a happy ending. And that's like the episode.
Yes.
Dude. It was fun though, man. I liked seeing all these monsters together, and I like seeing them in their duck form.
Yes. It's
because it
was always how did they trade off? There was ducks, there was dogs, there were both animals.
Yeah.
The guy that was a jerk in the beginning in this town in Duckburg, I guess, or in Disney. If you're heavyset, you're a villain.
You're a villain.
Like you're
Look at
Pete, the villain.
Yeah.
The pig at the beginning of the episode that's threatening the dog right outside, right? I remember that the phone booth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you're heavyset in this universe, you're the villain in Duckburg. But yeah, it was always an interesting dynamic there.
It's true because the Beagle Boys were all big too.
Yes, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
There's a connection.
So that was the episode. There was also in 1986, so before the show actually was released, they came out with this Christmas fun time book, and so it was a way to kind of build up some like excitement for the show, which premiered just a few months later. And so I want to take a look at this. It's one that I found online, and so it was $1.49 back then. And so,
dude.
I sent you the PDFs. I managed to scan this. We're not going to look at every page. We're just going to kind of run through it a little bit. But there's like dot to dots, connect the dots.
Yes.
Of Scrooge holding a wreath. There's like little straw puppets that you can actually cut out. And so they have little tabs with holes in them. So you can put them on a straw and then play like little puppets with them.
Yes.
Like, that's cool, man.
Dude, I thought so. I thought it was awesome. I mean, can you imagine if... did you buy that? Is that like a new?
This is new.
Or is it reprinted?
No, it's from 1986. Just no one had used it. You can actually see the Far More logo on it, on like the sticker.
Yeah.
And so every day $1.49. So it was just an unused copy that I managed to find on eBay a few months ago.
Dude, that is awesome. I mean, I'm a sucker. Right now, Jerry, my wife and daughter just got through doing some Halloween decorations.
Yeah.
And Dollar General releases those, or Dollar Tree, and I go out and I buy them up quickly, dude. Like I get them quickly, bring them home to them, and it's something they'll quick. It's $1, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in our day, man, they came in these coloring books, and there's a couple of them in there. I believe it's the door handles, right? And I think there's a make your own wreath as well.
There's a few things.
That is pretty cool.
So there's a placement for Santa Snack. It's like a placemat.
Yes,
and it's got like a big old circle for cookies and milk.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't. My virtual background is kind of blurring it. But there's like mazes. It's a Webby and Huey's journey to find a Christmas tree, and so there's like a little maze.
Webby, that's my Peter, right?
Webby was a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never mind.
No, you were thinking of this dude right here.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, there's like a card game with the Beagle Boys. There's like a What's Wrong with This Picture, where there's like 18 things that are wrong with this, and it's like a Christmas tree with Scrooge and the boys around and the Beagle Boys in the back.
Yeah, if you liked highlights, you like that.
It's exactly what it is. There's like picture arithmetic, fill in the blanks. I mean, this thing is cool.
Yes.
And there's a Christmas countdown calendar as well. So it's like a little advent
that's
calendar.
what I liked. I love an advent calendar, man. I like a Halloween one. I saw a Halloween one. I went looking for it at Sam's, but I love those things.
Yeah. And at the very end, it's got "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," like the poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. And
my favorite part of that is that night before Christmas.
Here's the wreath you were talking about. So it's actually a punch-out visor. And so you actually measure your head to determine the size that's needed. You punch open the appropriate slot, place the tab through it, and then you punch out the mistletoe and bows and string together. So it's like one of those visors you're supposed to hang like a mistletoe thing from.
When you're trying to get kisses. Whoa.
That's right. That's
all right, Disney.
Man, I feel like that's
that gets you in trouble these days.
That might be Donald's doing. I don't know, but so I mean, it's DuckTales, super influential.
Yes.
It's lasted. They made a comeback. They had their own movie. You remember the DuckTales movie?
Yes. Now, did you watch the comeback? I didn't get too into it. I like the old school a lot though.
Yeah, my kids have watched it. I've only seen a few episodes. They do have like an actual real Christmas episode.
Yes, they do.
Where Scrooge and Santa were like old friends, and then they kind of went their separate ways. I like it, but there's a lot of things I don't like about it. And the first thing is like the art style. It's hard for me to get into that art style.
Yes.
Like back in
the kids love it. The kids love it.
Yeah.
They look at our art style, or not our,
and they think it's old. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Look at these pixels, bro. Like, I'm like, come on, dude.
but yeah, it's like back in the 80s, they're like more round. Like everything just felt more real. Like you look at G.I. Joe even, and they felt a little more realistic compared to later on. Like even in 92 with Batman the Animated Series, I love it. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. But they were more angular. It's like more triangle shape to them, and they're it's like it's just a different art style.
It got I'd like to say anime style almost.
Yeah,
right? Like
did.
Too close to that. Yeah,
it really did. And so the new one, the art style is just a little off-putting to me. And then they really changed the like every single kid has like their own voice actor and like their own personality, which is that's great. It's good for them. But also,
it's not what we grew up.
It's not what we grew up with. So to me, it just feels wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. But but I do like the Christmas episode. I enjoy that show. It's not the original. It's not the OG DuckTales.
For me, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, their original run on that Once Upon a Christmas was it for me, and I'll always remember them for that. DuckTales, I loved this episode, even though you think about it, they took the name from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Right. Again, someone couldn't be thinking right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
But at the same time, it fits perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I couldn't believe that you hadn't covered it. Did you know that these came out on VHS cassettes? So
I did know they came out, but I didn't have any. Yeah.
Yeah. Disney released, I want to say it's like 4 cassettes, and they had like 3 different episodes of their. One of them contained this show, but it was like different Halloween episodes. I remember seeing the first one, and then I remember seeing this one. But for me, when Disney Plus came out, or what was it called? It was just called Disney at first. This was one of the first things I ran to watch. So
nice.
So yeah, I loved it, man. I thank you, Jerry, for letting me come on and cover it with you.
Well, thanks for bringing it to my attention, because I didn't remember this episode at all.
Yeah.
Like I remember mostly the Gizmo Duck ones, and then later on when I loved Darkwing Duck, because again he was more comic booky, more superhero, which I loved. And so the Justice Ducks, those were like one of my favorite episodes. Those are when he had to fight, like the team up. It was like the fearsome 5 or something, when it was, like all his main villains. Like, I loved those.
It was almost Avengers like.
I mean, it really was, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Justice League meets or the Avengers. And so it was like a cool little team up, and Gizmo Duck was in there too. And
Yeah.
I always thought it was interesting how Launchpad went from like flying Scrooge McDuck to flying, Darkwing Duck. I mean, it was a cool little
tied
thing,
them in together, right? Yeah.
Right. So I always thought that was super cool. So I like that one a little bit better than DuckTales, just because of the superhero, element of it. And he was like the Shadow, but also like Batman, which is my favorite, my favorite comic book character of all time. And I do have a question. So if you could be in this episode, who would you be?
Oh, I'd be one of those fans inside that dome.
Nice. Yeah.
I would have to be, right? Like, that's where I would live if they ran shows like that. I remember as a teenager, for a while, I ran with a group of friends. We were in this group called it was Youth Against Gang Activities. We got together every week, but one of the things I remember doing with them is we'd go to shows a lot. Like, we'd go to movies a lot, and we'd go to the Draft House, which was in its early days at that time. This is just starting off down here in San Antonio, and it would run Rocky Horror, like, I want to say, Jerry, like at least once a month or once every 2 months.
Wow.
And it would get wrong, like it'd get rowdy, people would. So I grew up in the theater, man. I would be in that theater.
Right on. See, for me, I think I'd want to be Drakeula. I think that'd be a fun it'd be a fun role to play. And he only eats apples because it keeps his teeth shiny,
Yeah, you don't have to kill nobody.
He doesn't. So I don't have to kill anybody.
You can go out in the daytime.
I could turn into a bat if I want. It's just, fun stuff can happen there. Joe, what would you say is your happiest like memory or moment with DuckTales?
This is my favorite DuckTales episode, so it's got to be this one.
Yeah.
And man, being able to cover it with you, which is one of my favorite podcasts, it's got to be right now. Let's go. So
yeah. This is definitely fun. I remember when DuckTales came out, and I remember hearing the theme song, and I remember everybody, like, it was like the next day or maybe a couple of days later, everybody was singing that theme song. It's cool.
You couldn't say DuckTales without someone saying, woo.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was just like, this whole experience, everybody knew what it was. Like, even if you weren't into it, you knew what it was, but you'd sing along with the song. I mean, it was so cool. So I do remember that. But yeah, this episode was fun, and I was watching it with my kids while shopping for back to school clothes. So while my oldest was like trying on some clothes, the littles and I were just kind of sitting on the how they always have like the little chairs or bench outside, and so we were just sitting watching, and they were just enthralled. They loved it, and it was like a whole cool thing, because before then, I'd be like, hey, let's watch DuckTales. And they're like, the old one or the new one? And then if I say, no, the original, then they'd be like, eh. But this time they were like into it, and they didn't complain. It was just, it was something. So yeah, it was really cool, man.
And Jerry, it gets them a little bit into those Universal monsters.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like Drakeula, let me tell you about this.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's funny because those old movies, like, Dracula's from 1931. It's not scary at all.
No.
But I remember as a kid watching it and being a little scared. So
we had Channel 35 here in San Antonio, and it would show these creature features or midnight movies at times, and a lot of times it was stuff that I probably shouldn't have been watching.
Of course,
AMC,
that's all the 80s.
Once they started running these monster hours or these things leading up to Halloween, they'd run these shows, and a lot of times they'd run the old, Draculas.
Right.
These things are an hour and a half. It's not big blocks of time.
Right.
And they'd show them late at night, and you'd be there watching, and a lot of times I'm doing this stuff by myself, man. There's nobody around.
Same.
So
Yeah,
it would creep you out, right? Like the creatures of the night, how they call for you or something,
That's right.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
I did like Francis Ford Coppola, the Bram Stoker's Dracula, like in 92, I think it's the only thing I didn't like about it was a love story because he made that part up for the movie. That's not in the original novel, but I like how they really came close, I think, to the feel of the novel, and it was really great. But it made me love, the character just a lot more. Of course, Monster Squad, just amazing.
And I'm a big fan of Van Helsing and all, all times that they've made him. There's a lot of people that don't like the Hugh Jackman. I don't necessarily love it, but I love that they gave that shot at it, right?
Yeah, I know what
Anthony
you mean.
Hopkins was awesome.
Yes, he was, yeah.
And I love that they incorporated him into Monster Squad. It's fun to see the old Draculas, and you see this nonchalant guys like, I'm Van Helsing, and you're like, oh, it's Van Helsing.
Right.
Anthony Hopkins is like, but no, I don't want to repeat what Anthony Hopkins said on your episode, Jerry.
That's right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. She was in a lot of pain, and then we we cut off her head and drove a stake through her heart and burned her, and then she found peace.
Yes, he is great,
and he just says it so
is,
nonchalant.
Yes, he is so awesome
so casually.
in that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to have seen a Van Helsing in this episode.
Yes,
but
chasing them down, right?
Yeah. Then in the end, they all have like a big party or something.
Yeah.
Typical like DuckTales kind of turning around. But now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with the Spoon, where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of the episode. And as a guest, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene for us.
There's nothing in this episode that's least for me, Jerry. I did think it was funny that Scrooge as a duck struggled in the water. He got knocked in the water.
That
early
is true.
In the episode.
That is.
But I was gonna do I want to duck your flood. As,
you can still do it.
Gag. No. Again, I said it earlier that if you don't find a gag me with the spoon in this episode, you're just not trying. But there's a couple of things in there. But it goes. They got the big fat pig on the outside, and he goes, wait, I just have to call my mummy. And he's like, good. And now you can tell your mummy goodbye.
That guy. Yeah. He ran away really quick when the guy wolfed out, though.
Yeah. One more, Jerry.
Yeah, go for it.
Dracula, at one point, they talk about going to the Blue Lagoon last year, and he's like, but he had an excellent wet bar.
That's a great line.
Dad jokes up the yin yang on this one, man. I loved it.
I actually went with the Drakeula line too. And it's when they say that he's calling from Duckburg, and Count Drakeula goes, Duckburg. Now that's a town I could really sink my teeth into. Like, all right, you're a vampire. I get it.
Every vampire does that Count Duckula voice, right?
Accent, yeah.
Or it sounds more like the Count from Sesame Street.
It's true, it really does. Oh man, but G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
Ooh, I would say don't get wrapped up like the mummy. Mummy wrapped up.
No, that's good. I thought if knowing's half the battle, the other half is just treating monsters right so they don't try to attack you. Joe, this has been a lot of fun. Tell me about your show, anything you want to plug.
Well, Jerry, we've been doing Now Watch This. It seems like 2 or 3 years now. And, we started around 2020, which it seems like almost all podcasts started around that time. But, we've been on your show a few times. One of my favorite things to do was we did the Toys R Us theme song to Now Watch This for you, which we won a Ratty Award for. We do a podcast and we cover movies. We cover Halloween, we cover Christmas, we try to get into different things, and we give it to you from two dork dads perspectives. So Luck covers things as a dad. We kind of tell you how things interact or hit for us as parents. So we give you that kind of perspective, and it's funny. We've gotten deep on episodes. We always talk about it, but we did Field of Dreams, Jerry, and
great.
Luck and I watch these movies as we're doing the episode, and if you can watch Field of Dreams without crying, you just don't have a heart. So we're both blabbering by the end. But again, we do these episodes, and we do them for us, and we do them for our friends, man. So we can have some fun.
Right on, man.
Yes, sir. We got to have you on, Jerry, soon.
Yeah, for sure. Last time I was on, I think is when we talked Once Bitten.
Oh, and that was one of my favorite episodes. And again, Jerry, you and I get together, man, and it's just a good time always. So
yeah, good movies. I love that movie. Yeah, so check it out. I've been meaning to. I know we've tried over the years to come back with you and Lucky, but like schedules, things get out of whack.
Super
We still need to do Super Dave. That's still I still have it down. I still have your names on there, so it's on the schedule, just without a date.
Yes, we're getting there. We're getting there.
That's right. Baby steps. So we'll work our way back. But thank you again, Joe.
Yeah.
This is always fun.
Always, Jerry. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Not a problem. And I'll end it with, let us terrify you. Let us make you scream. Let us make you shiver in your shoes. We know how to scare away the blues. Let us petrify you. You cannot run away. Welcome to our monster show. We are the monsters on parade. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like Scrooge making money, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. Blah. Later, dudes.
Deck the halls with jingle bells. Hey, it's Santa's sleigh. He's here, he's here. Uh-oh. Slow down. Oh, we're sorry.
From all of your Disney afternoon friends, have the happiest holiday ever.